All right.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Did You Max Jump? 7 questions with Sandy and CMoore. Our amazing guest today, the McNamara twins, checking in from their home in Tawasin.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hi. So, Sandy, you want to go first here? You want to fire up the first question?
Yes, I do. So I have to ask, we ask all the time, who is the parent's favorite in your household?
Oh, gosh. Depends on the day, I guess. Yeah. I think Dad likes me more. Okay. Mom likes me more. Oh.
Okay, we've had such a myriad of answers. We've heard the dog is the most liked in the household. We've heard, Mom likes me and Dad likes her, and so that's interesting to hear.
That is good
Mom
to
likes
know.
the dog. Yeah, Mom definitely
sure.
likes the dog more than both of us. No question.
Okay, well, actually, we have to tell our people who is who.
I know.
Oh, I'm Megan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nicole.
There you go. Perfect. Okay, so way back in the day, however old you were, how did you get started with Side Out?
We met Misha. Yeah. So when we were in grade 7, we didn't go to school. Our family traveled around Europe for 3 months, and then we lived in Mexico for 5 months. And that's kind of when we started playing beach just at the resort there, and we loved it. But when we were in Europe, we were in Croatia, and we came across the Youth World Championships, and then we actually met Misha. They were
Oh, no way.
right? Or no, that was in Turkey. It was in Turkey, yeah. And Misha had his Canada shirt on. We sat next to him during one of the games, and he was kind of talking about, I think him and Kira had just started the club, and we told them we were from Vancouver. We just started playing volleyball, and we love it. And they said, well, you guys should come to tryouts when you get back. And then it all kind of came from there. Yeah.
So that was grade 7, so you would have been like 13 you.
Yeah.
I think you guys are, I think they're 12. Because I remember the first time, I don't know if I met your mom first, because I heard these stories about the ridiculous stories around the beach community about how you guys started playing volleyball was wild. Their parents pulled them out of school to travel and play beach volleyball and teach them how to play in Mexico. And it was just, there was just so many ridiculous stories. So I just went over and said hi to your mom and sat down and talked to her. And she kind of laughed because she'd heard some of these stories too. And she said, no, just what you said. We had the opportunity to kind of travel the world, and the girls picked up volleyball along the way.
Yeah.
There you guys
Yeah,
were.
there were so many rumors. Yeah, we heard one that we lived in Brazil to train in Brazil. We heard that once, and that one definitely wasn't true.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm glad that's cleared up. That's good. So a tough one. This actually came from the Brown twins who play Side Out now. They're actually at Erskine College. And how do you guys get along being both sisters, well, twins, partners, and roommates? That's got to be a lot of time together with the same person.
It's hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's a lot of time with one person. So we try and carve out, a day here and there when we just okay, we're going to do our own things and we're not going to talk to each other. We're just going to go off and do our own thing. And sometimes it sparks from a fight, but yeah, when things are good though, it's great because we have so much fun at practice and get to go home and make dinner together. And we're definitely best friends, but we can also be worst enemies.
That's awesome.
There are some legendary stories of things you have done to each other on the volleyball court.
Oh no.
What is the meanest thing that you think you've done to each other on the volleyball court?
Megan,
gosh,
Megan
yeah,
would be mad if I tell this story.
No,
this is not my proudest moment, but it was one of our first beach volleyball tournaments. We were playing U13, but I think we were U12, and we were bickering, and then Nicole bends down to pick up the ball, and I'm standing in front of her, and I just scoop up a bunch of sand and just kick it all over as she's bending down to the ball, and just all over sand.
Oh,
I think our mom was watching, and she was just absolutely wanted to leave.
Okay, because I'm going to reference the Brown twins again because I have been with them quite a bit, and they've had some just vicious fights on the court. And same thing, mom's oh my God, mortified and embarrassed. And so I guess specifically to them, siblings, twins, you name it, does it get better?
Yes, it does. It gets easier, but you're going to have to work on it forever. We're still working on it. I don't think that there's ever going to be that aha moment where you just don't fight anymore.
But it keeps getting better as we get older. And
And we just have to remember that our urge to like win and get better and be the best is stronger than the like desire to be right in our little like fights.
That's awesome.
That can be said for almost any athlete.
Yeah, because we have a streak to hold up here, Sandy. We've had side out twins in the NCAA for the last 5 years, and there's hopefully another set or two of twins coming to try out this summer that are grade 8 or grade 9. So we could maybe keep this streak of NCAA side out twins going.
Yeah,
that'd be very exciting. Okay, so those of you that everybody that doesn't know, well, I'll just say it this way. Where did you end up going to school for NCAA, and how did you end up there? And what other schools did you spurn to go to that school?
We played at UCLA for 4 years. We got recruited the summer after grade 10. We took a ton of video of us playing, like over the last year before that. And then we actually hired a recruiting like coordinator, this woman named Carol. She works for My Recruiting Solutions. And she like her team put together our highlight video, and she had contacts at all the different schools. So we just emailed all of the coaches and said, we're coming down to a tournament. It was the HP championships in Hermosa Beach. And we just said, sent our video and said, come watch us play. So we heard back from like Arizona, Hawaii, Florida State, UCLA. But the only schools that we actually visited were Arizona, Pepperdine, and UCLA. But as soon as we like stepped foot on campus, we knew that we wanted to go to UCLA. There was no other option.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
I remember seeing one of the UCLA coaches was here watching you guys in kits one time, taking notes. I can't remember, when or why, but they were definitely here watching you guys.
The when we were getting recruited?
Yeah, for sure. Hawaii was here watching you guys.
Oh, Hawaii was here. I do remember that. I don't think that UCLA was there. No, not.
Sorry, my fault. Hawaii.
But it's pretty crazy how all the coaches now are realizing that there's talent up in Canada and are doing recruiting trips in Vancouver and Toronto. Like it's just kind of blown up.
It's been a slow build, but definitely they're seeing the potential there. Like, why would you leave any stone unturned? Get out there. Right?
I think was it last year that on 7 of the 8 teams there were Canadians, like that made the NCAA final.
Yeah, that's right. I think everyone from volleyball was saying that. That's pretty cool. Good for you guys. It's a testament to how strong the volleyball is in our country.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are leading the way. Okay, so question I have for you guys. That's my favorite McNamara. That's Sean.
It's Sean.
Hi, Sean.
So somewhere along the line, you guys clearly realized that you wanted to pursue volleyball more and more and more. And so when did diet, sleep, and workout and all the extracurricular things off the court, when did those habits really set in?
We were lucky that we were working with Misha and Kira because, Misha, he's so big on nutrition and sleep. So he was kind of like drilling that into all of us when we were really young, like get in the shade. You can't just drink water. You need to drink your electrolytes, like eat well. Like he kind of taught us everything. We always bought in, but when you're young, you kind of can eat don't really think you need to warm up or eat healthy. You're just like, I'm invincible. But I would say like in college, when our training load just got a lot heavier, we realized how important all those things really were. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, it's here all the time. So many people at a young age, I want to play post-secondary, I want to play post-secondary, but their habits aren't good. They're going to bed at 2 a.m, eating junk food, drinking pop, whatever. So that's kind of what I mean. Like, were you guys always good about that stuff, or did something kind of slowly change, or was it always good?
I'd say we had pretty good habits, but the bigger jump for us was going from NCAA to now playing pro with Team Canada. Like the workouts that we're doing with our trainers in Toronto, we are needing to sleep at least like 9 hours or else we can't function. Like we are so exhausted by the end of the day and like we need that sleep or else we won't be able to function.
Nice.
Are you guys nappers as well?
No, unfortunately. I wish, but just can't nap no matter how tired I am.
Oh, okay. Well,
so at what point were you guys like, hey, I think we could like try to make a career out of this thing? Like how old were you when you realized that like you could take a shot and really try to do this thing full time for as long as you could?
It was probably the summer that we went and played like in the youth world championships. because before that we knew that we were doing well at all of the local tournaments. We had done well at nationals, but we didn't really we had no clue how we would fare on the world stage. So when we went to under 19s and got a medal, we were like, wow, we could do this. And I think that was when we really realized that it was something we wanted to do also.
Yes, we were probably 16 that year.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so this is a question that I'm really interested in because I don't know how all this stuff works. So when you guys are heading out on the world tour and you guys are planning out your summer, this summer obviously got derailed a little bit here, but as you sat down to plan your summer, how do you decide where you're going, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, better to play really good competition and maybe not finish as well? Or is it better to play weak competition and get better results? How do you figure all that out?
That's honestly one of the hardest parts about all of this. We're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to shoot for the stars and put yourself out there and play in the top tournaments, but also you want to play in maybe some of the lower events to play deeper into the tournament and get more matches. So it's kind of trying to find a balance. Our first year on tour, which was after third year university, we signed up for a 1-star in Thailand, and we had 0 FIVB points at that point. So it was just not a full tournament. So we got in and did pretty well. And then we kind of kept building on that. Then we tried a 2-star and then a couple 3-stars. And so we're still learning.
Yeah.
Our coach Leonard has been really great at helping us because he's been around the sport for years. So he's really helpful and has good advice.
Awesome. Do you plan to, do you try to plan it logistically that makes sense too? Try not to bounce continents too much or time zones?
That's more of a factor for the more established teams. When you're just starting out, you kind of have to play all the full events that the other teams might not want to go to. You might have the worst travel day, Brazil to China or something, but it's kind of what you have to do when you're starting out just to get points.
Mm-hmm. CMoore and I met Leonard a couple of years ago at Las Vegas in an FIVB. I think he's someone we'd be interested to chat with too on one of these casts. I like Leonard a lot. I'd never met him before, and you always heard his name, but a lot of good things to say. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so
we really enjoy working with him.
You girls now, since you've left school, you now have the ability to make yourself money, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And you've been starting to build your brand a bit more.
Yep.
So do you have a website you want to tell people about?
Yes, we do have a website. It's called the McNamaraTwins.com. We signed with a sports agency and they kind of helped us get that all running. We love to cook, so we've been posting recipes, and we're still figuring it out, but we're excited to have a platform that we can share all of our results and stuff. And because people ask us all the time, how can I follow? And I mean, this year there's no tournaments really. So
yeah. Now I've seen you guys always posting recipes and stuff, which I love, and I'm drooling. I love to eat. Who doesn't? But what is your favorite food? Megan or Nicole, you can go first, whichever one.
I love Italian food, pizza, pasta.
Yeah.
I would say that's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Or sushi. Also love sushi.
I know, I love sushi too. I have a sweet tooth, so I love to bake.
Yeah, Megan loves baking.
Yeah.
There's banana bread in the oven right now.
Oh, that's good. You ask people what their favorite food is. No one ever just comes out and says it. Donuts. Everyone's trying to think oh, wait a minute here. Tuna casserole. I think something moderately.
Yeah.
I'd love to live off donuts if I could.
What's your favorite food, Sandy?
I'm the same boat as you. I love Italian food.
Yeah.
I could have lasagna with Caesar salad and garlic bread nightly.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of nice. But then again, I love I'm pretty simple. I could be a steak and potatoes guy too. So yeah.
I'm a sushi guy. Could eat sushi.
Yeah, especially in
All day, all the
Vancouver.
time.
I know we haven't found our spot in Toronto yet, so
Oh,
if anyone in Toronto's listening and wants to comment.
okay, so one more thing about people trying to follow you really quickly. At some point in time in the last couple of years, you guys went from McNamara to Megan and Nicole on the FIVB site. So what was that decision? And how does that break down? Can you just make any name you want? Can you just...
Yeah, I don't know if you can just do any name, but
we just noticed a lot of the Brazilians were doing it, some of the Canadian girls. And we've talked about before how it looks so long, McNamara.
And that is part of us wanting to, be individuals,
Because we're always the twins. No one really says.
No one ever says Megan and Nicole.
No, we're all people.
Yeah.
People just call us the twins. Like we have names.
I guarantee you I'm very guilty of that. And it wasn't until last summer when one of our coaches was talking to Morgan and Olivia Brown, the twins that play for us now. And just the biggest thing those girls would say to her that she took from talking to them all the time was we are individuals. We are not the twins.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough because it's like an easy reference to say the twins when you kind of speak to somebody, but I guess to you guys, it's not, I mean, not derogatory, but it's too simple. You know, you want to be known as Megan and Nicole, the two individuals, not the McNamara twins.
Okay, so here's an individual question then, or an individualized question, I guess, is when was the first time that someone said you guys were both too small to play together and then you would need to split up?
It was, honestly, it was Leonard who told us that.
Oh, that was the first time? Okay.
Yeah. So
I don't even know if he remembers this.
I don't know if he remembers. It was
Okay.
2012. We had just played in the indoor national championships in Toronto, and then we stayed and then played in the under 19 world's tryouts. We were a few years younger.
We were 16.
16. And we'll never forget, he sat us down on a log at Ashbridges Bay. Or no, we were 14. Or maybe, yeah, I can't remember how old we were. 14.
How'd you guys do?
I think we came third or something. We didn't qualify. For Worlds,
year.
but he told us, he said, it'll be like, you won't be able to be successful internationally together. Maybe at under 19s, you could get a medal, but U21s, you won't medal. You'll have to split up and find blockers if you want to be successful internationally. And we took it like so hard. We cried. We were devastated. Like, I remember leaving that meeting. And then for years we were petrified of Leonard, and we just had this, we thought he was evil, and we thought for a long time, we were like, he thinks we're terrible. Like, but then we were going to under 21 Worlds in Switzerland with Kira coaching us. And she said, it was after this, she said, I think you could learn a lot from Leonard. So I'm going to reach out, which was great of her as a coach too, because she, like, some coaches are like, oh, I know everything, I don't need help. But she was like, I can learn from him too. So we kind of started like having conference calls and like meeting the four of us. And we were like, oh, and by the way, you know, we got a medal at under 21s. We're not too short.
You told us we wouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's the better blocker then?
Megan, I think. Yeah.
Who's taller?
Also Megan,
I
but
am.
barely.
Oh.
I don't know if that's what makes the difference. Half a centimeter.
Oh,
Okay, so
that's got to hurt, Nicole.
Sandy, unless you have any more, I've only got one left.
No, you go ahead. I've done all mine.
Okay, so what are your long-term goals and plans?
Of course, we'd love to go to the Olympics. Yeah.
Together?
That's the ultimate goal. Together.
Okay.
Paris is the goal right now.
Okay.
And then
awesome.
keep playing and play in LA, stay in the UCLA dorms. That's where the Olympic Village is going to be for the LA Olympics, which should be awesome.
What year is Paris?
Paris is 2024. LA is 2028.
Okay, so you'd like to go to both those Olympics, obviously?
Yeah. And then after that, I would love to still be in the kits scene and start getting beat by the young 16-year-olds and just absolutely hate it.
I think you guys are a long
Like when we were-
You guys got a long way to go before that happened.
Yeah.
I remember the older women that played were just so mad. They would just storm on the beach when these two 13-year-olds and 15-year-olds were beating them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good for you guys for coming up and kind of being trailblazers, because to this day, I mean, our best youth teams are still petrified, scared of playing those older teams. They never think they'll do well, and win or lose, they do okay. They're shocked, and you know, lots of times we reference, you know, people like you. They did it too. They played against adults. You have to lose before you win. It's just the way it works. So
Yeah, totally.
thank you very much.
Thank you. That's fun. Thanks, guys.
Ladies, last closing remark from you guys. Just give us a message to the youth out there that are listening.
Message to the youth. Just keep playing, put yourself out there, enjoy it, and have fun. Try not to take it too seriously. Sometimes we'll leave games that we lose and we're just like, you know, so pissed off, but we love it. Just enjoy it.
Okay, sweet. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.